Wait a minute. Where's my music? There you go. Oh wow. I lowered the volume by a lot. A lot. Oh, that's loud. Am I like this, maybe? Am I being heard okay? Is the volume balance okay? Let's double check that. Let's see. Okay, I think it should be fun. Is good. You look amazing. Thank you. Oh man. Oh, let me tell you. I've been running into this issue because I've been trying to finish the rig for this. I've been trying. And what has been stumping me so much is the rig for the body. I didn't know how to approach the body movement. And I know it's very stylistic from one artist or one rigger to the other. So I was like, oh, okay, how do I want to go about this? And then I gave up. I was like, okay, this is way too much for my little brain. I'm just gonna follow the tutorial. And then the tutorial was like, oh, you gotta do this specific step. And I already kind of did it, but not in the right way. And I didn't want to lose my work. It was as simple as like moving this layer into this different folder. And it wasn't allowing me to move the layer in the folder. And I was like, oh, is it not possible? I ask around and everyone tells me, no, it is possible. You can absolutely do it. I try, doesn't work. I try, it doesn't work. And I've been going around for the past couple of weeks asking people, can somebody supervise me just for this one step? Just like, cause I'm doing something wrong, clearly. And yesterday we finally figured it out. It was a bug. And the only way to fix it was to downgrade my Live 2D version. Sorry, my throat has a little bit of a... I have something in my throat and I'm not sure how to get rid of it. Oh my god. But yeah, I went from 5.2.02 to back to 5.1. And then I tried it, and then it worked, but not without the little heartache, or not heartache, the heart attack it gave me. There was this warning that popped up with like, you know, a warning is bad when there's like 2 sections of the warning that has big red letters on it saying, beware, due to your, like, your file might get damaged. Do it to your own, what's the wording? Like, essentially, your consequences. Like, you want to try this? Good luck. And I was like, oh my god! Am I gonna lose this rig? I made a copy of the file. That's great, that's awesome. But still, though, I was worried. But yeah, let's move towards, ever so slightly towards, going on Clip Studio and get started with this. So, a little bit of an opener for this. Today is gonna be, I'm guessing a fairly short stream. It's more like a yap session, if anything. And we're gonna be talking about clothes foldings. Specifically, not shading, but more like drawing, line work, and whatnot. Let's see. I don't have like notes in front of me. I do have a vague idea of how I want to go about this. So it's not the most professional of PowerPoints. It's not even a PowerPoint, honestly. I know what are some points I want to talk about, and we're gonna wing it, honestly. If you're interested in learning or taking advice from me when it comes to clothes folding, this is the video for you. Sorry, I'm trying to like set myself up in the back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's not working well for that. Let's see. Can I make you bigger? Wow. What if I do this? Wow. What if I do this? The scuffiest of scuff streams. Let's go. Okay, you know what? Let's just move on with this. So, yeah. Yeah, sorry. It's a little bit of a tight screen. I don't really know how to balance the ratio of the iPad screen to this. Oh, that is not how we're gonna do this. Yeah. No! Ah! Makes sense. Okay. So, I didn't really want to go out of my way to get a fully drawn nude character, so we're gonna use the Clip Studios 3D models for this. Make things a little bit easier. So, I'm gonna mostly be talking about the upper body clothing, but I think a lot of the logic can absolutely apply to pants, gloves, scarves maybe? But like overall you get the idea. Like it should be a lot of this knowledge you can apply to other places. So let's work with that in mind. No perspective here. Let's make it clear. Perfect. Gonna delete this, add head, and we're gonna make him blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-da. Okay. Whoa. And honestly, I feel like we can just get rid of this as well. So that's not the right controller. Where's the other controller? Jeez. There you go. Sorry. Oh, I have Clip Studio. No, I don't. Let's see. Okay, so it's connected. There you go. Perfect. So let's draw a shirt, a t-shirt on this side, right? You know when you spread out a t-shirt on your bed ready to fold it, right? Usually it's gonna look something like this. Right? Now, what I want you to pay attention to is this area over here. It's pretty square. It's pretty square, and if you think about the fabric, the piece of fabric for this, it's essentially just this, right? It's a square, but it's attached, it's stitched to other pieces of clothing, and also the one at the back, right? So what that means is that it's gonna get pulled and get resistance from all the other sides. If I try to pinch this area, right? I try to pinch this area upwards. What's gonna happen is that the tension is gonna bring this clothes over here. And it's gonna get pulled from these places. And it's also going to drag the other pieces of clothes that are attached by stitching. This one might get pulled in a different type of way, might go inwards a little bit. But that's essentially how it works, right? Like, clothes are essentially a bunch of tissues that are attached by stitches. It's hard to see. Yeah, but this is what I mean. Like, if you pull the clothes from you're pinching this piece of clothes upwards, this is what's gonna happen, right? Like, all your clothes are gonna get pulled towards that area. And clothes folding is essentially that. It's your clothes constantly getting pulled in different angles, different positions due to how you move your limbs and how you contort yourself. So let's say this guy is wearing a t-shirt, right? Usually t-shirts like this, right? Let's do it again. Just, you know what? Actually, we did say it was gonna be like fairly square. Now there's multiple things to take into account here. There's gravity, but there's also the pulling tension. So what's gonna happen is that gravity is gonna pull the clothes in. It's gonna fall downwards, but because it wants to all fall downwards, it gets pulled at the upper areas, the shoulders. So what's gonna happen is gonna get pulled. Getting pulled on the sides over here. You might have a little bit more flack on these areas because there's no body underwards. So this area will be a little bit looser, right? I'm just drawing these curves a little bit more exaggerated just to really show like the fact that it's loose over there. Same thing, so this area is pulling, so the sleeves will also feel compelled to get pulled. And it tends to fall a little bit like this. Now, as I said, this area usually would be straight, right? So what happens is that there's a lot of cloth, a lot of piling that happens here. So what you tend to see is that around the armpit, there's a lot of folds happening over here. Thank you for the heart, I think. I saw it from the corner of my eye. So, folds are likely to happen in this area. It's normal. The way that people tend to stitch clothes together, they know that you will likely have a lot of motion around the arm, so they tend to make it with extra material. So it will fall. It will fold onto itself. Oh my god, I can't talk. Now, if this was a woman, or if it's a very big boobied man, another area where the clothes gets pulled or is not allowed to properly fall onto gravity is the chest level. It will peak at certain areas and will be more likely to fall over here, or rather the extra tissue that you will find below that is not really supported by any body mass will tend to kind of link to this area. And I'm sorry to say it, but the area that tends to protrude the most is around the nipples. It's not because the person's nipples are hard or anything, it's just like, that's how it works. It's the most prominent area of the body, and therefore clothes will tend to want to fold around that. Maybe not like let's not all make every single fold of clothes like unite on the nipple. It's more like there's this pattern where they tend to kind of want to lean on one way to the other. Now, with that said, let's kind of clean this up, or let's clean our act a little bit. We're gonna add folds here. I'm gonna add folds here. We're gonna erase this. Voila, voila. And now, delete this. Skadoosh. Let's lift that arm. Right? Now what happens here? Let's see. We add a new layer for this. Let me make it red. Oh, that's a very strong red. There you go. So what will happen here is that gravity will do its work. And the upper line, let's just make it this way, right? Like the clothes are following this pattern. But remember the stitching here. What's gonna happen is it's gonna want to do this. It's gonna want to do this, but it has to consider the entire rest of the clothes here. There's weight to it, right? So it's gonna get pulled. It's gonna get pulled a little bit, and this as well is gonna get pulled. It's not gonna be allowed to fully go all the way out. And same thing over here. The clothes are getting pulled, and it might lift up a little bit more than the side that isn't being pulled. Now we have... I hope you guys can see the type of motion that's happening here. Let me do this a little bit more transparent. There you go. Because there's kind of this diagonal pattern going on here, right? It's going this way. Or that way. One or the other. Doesn't really matter which way it's going. It's going diagonally is the point. What's gonna happen is that the folds are gonna also go diagonally. And using your logic, you can just make the folds, the clothes follow those folds, you know? And what I like to do is I try to add further logic to those folds. So for example, if you look at the arm, it kind of has a little bit of a mountain here, and a second mountain here, and one over here. So where it tends to be the lowest points, so here and here, is where you will see clothes folding onto each other. And how do I word this? What I want to do is kind of like continue that curve going on and add perhaps a little bit of a triangle to show that there's a fold happening here. You can do it in shading as well. That's absolutely an option. Adding little triangles here and there like really goes a very long way in adding details to your folds. I personally prefer to do it in line work. Sometimes I even delete my line work when I see that the shading does all the job for me. But it's definitely something you can do. Add little triangles here. A little triangle over here to show that there's like proper deep folds happening. But I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say about the stitches and how it affects how the rest of the clothes will move when it comes to like an entire body of clothes. Let me see if there's any other way I can word this, make sure I cover my bases. And even if it was like a longer sleeves clothes, like a very long sleeve, right? It's probably gonna look a little bit like this, a little bit more diagonal. And you can just keep adding those folds as much as you want, or you want to be extra fancy, then try to think ahead of time what type of material, what thickness the cloth is, For example, if it's a very thick and expensive suit, it's probably going to hold a lot less than if it was a very thin material. Very thin materials tend to really fold all over the place and be very, very sensitive to that. Oh, qué bueno que volviste. Eche de menos tus directos. What language is that? Me emociona este stream de dibujo. ¿Cuál es tu parte favorita del proceso de... ¿Cuál es tu parte favorita del proceso de dibujar ropa? Ropa. Ropa. Sorry, a veces olvido que debo escribir en inglés. No, you're good. So, Pat is asking me what is my favorite part in drawing clothes. My favorite part, honestly, is the triangles. The little triangles over here. Like even, like, oh, I'm tempted to make a little triangle here or even here. Because then it allows me to like shade here and here as well. I give that feeling of dimensions going on. And you can just go crazy adding triangles here and there and here. Heck, we're gonna add one here as well, as long as it follows the diagonal pattern that the clothes tension creates, right? Bam. Also, I'm kind of a little bit bothered by how the screen is showing right now. Let's see if we can arrange that. A little bit like this. Sorry, it's hard to like find a good balance, but I think it makes I think it's better, a little bit better. Now let's take a different pose, shall we? Let's see. What pose can we do? 3D pose. Let's use this pose. You know what? It's not gonna be a pose that entirely makes sense, but it's for the sake of explaining what we just talked about, right? So, pants. Let's talk about pants real quick. Oops, that's not the right color. There you go. Pants, essentially, same concept. It's a very straightforward... Well, if it's tighter pants, it's whatever. But let's say, like, it's just like average loose-ish pants, right? Like, it's this type of fabric that are attached to each other. If anything, it's like rectangles attached to each other with the zipper and whatnot. And what tends to happen is that there's a lot of extra fabric over here, so they tend to fold a lot over here. A lot of folding on each other happening here. But the interesting part that I really, really love about pants, looser pants, is this area. Because this is the point of tension, right? So what happens is that the clothes are going to be fairly tight when it comes to the upper thighs, but when it comes to anything below the knee, it gets pulled towards the knee. And something I noticed, especially with business suits, is that they tend to lift off a little bit over here. So this area is going to be fairly tight to the skin, but this area be lifting up. I mean, you have to see the little ankles. Ooh. But yeah. Now, I just drew a couple random diagonal lines towards the point of tension, right? And let's use those lines to create folds. So, like, a little mountain over here, little mountain over here, over here, over here. And then you add triangles. Little triangle over here, little triangle over there. There tends to be a lot of fabric piling up over here, so what we tend to do is we kind of go onwards. A little bit too much. And then just... well, I think pants tend to be like fairly tight towards the thighs, so it's not too bad. And then it piles up again over here, right? Like I said, it's a lot of clothes piling up towards the hip area. So we create little folds. Fold, fold, fold. I wouldn't call this a tension area. Oh, no, the tension area is over here. So we want diagonal lines going towards the butt. But you also need to consider that this is like a 3D plane, so it's gonna kind of curve along the side of the hip, right? And then there's not a single fold over here, and then it folds back over here. And then the little skirt flip over here that's happening with the ankles. It's not, perhaps it's not that obvious. Perhaps it's a little bit more subtle. But you get the idea, right? Now, of course, if the pants were tighter, you probably wouldn't see nearly as much folds. It will be a lot more tight to the body, but you would still see a little bit of folding going towards there. And if the pants are too long, right, there's a lot of extra fabric that will pile up over here, and you just do triangles. Triangle it into oblivion, essentially. Now... I'm trying to think, is this a good pose for what I want to talk about the shirts? You know what? Let's justify it. Bad pose, okay? Don't do this with your body, it's gonna hurt. But something that happens pretty often, and I kind of exaggerated the pose, but it happens with fairly average, like just standing up straight poses. What's gonna happen is that the point of tension, as I've mentioned, is gonna be the breast level. And the shoulders, of course. Depending on what you're doing with your arms. But let's concentrate on the main body, right? What's gonna happen is that your clothes are gonna lift up a little bit over here. That's where the tension, or like, and point towards the tension. So we're pointing towards the tension. What happens in the back? What happens in the back over here is that the clothes, you might think, it just falls straight. There's no body holding onto it, but it's being pulled. It's being pulled over here. So what happens is that they tend, at least up to the hip level, or no, sorry, up to the waist. Shirts tend to like kind of pile up over here, like be fairly tight at the body. Not super tight, but fairly tight. And kind of embrace the front body like this. You see, same pattern that you see here. It embraces the back of the shape and loosens towards the front. And here it is. It embraces the back and loosens towards the front. Now, again, this is if the clothes are very loose. Similar things happen when the clothes are tighter, but let's see. Let's draw this if it were tight, right? What's gonna happen is that it's just gonna lift up and have a little bit less folds, because it has less fabric to fold onto itself. So maybe a little bit here and towards under the armpit, because there's the stitches, there's a lot of fabric that piles up there. So that's what happens with clothes. Hi Borna, how is it going? I thought you weren't streaming till another few days, so I'm not complaining though. Oh man, I know I said I would not, like, I have my stream schedule ready. I think I already posted it on Twitch and I need to post it on everything else. But I was restless. I need to work. I haven't been able to work properly in the past couple days since I came back from the trip. I've just been staring blankly at my screen, like, oh. And Kay or Kiru over here reached out to me saying like, hey, do you have any tips on how to draw clothes folding? I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's make it a short stream. If it be a short stream, be it a short stream, but let's just talk about it. Very scuffed, very no notes, but hopefully it helps. Hopefully. But there is going to be a little bit of a change to streams from here on out, specifically to the schedule. I used to try streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm going to keep streaming on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Fuck, I need to repost that schedule. I had such a plan in my head and I just forgot about it, just threw it off the window. Well, next stream is Monday, tomorrow. Ignore whatever Twitch tells you at the moment. Wait till tonight when I post the proper schedule. You would love Wednesday streams? Gotcha. I'm taking note of that. I'm struggling a lot to focus on work too. Thank you for the lesson, of course. Is anything unclear? Oh, okay, Borna, thank you for dropping by, but I'll see you later. But yeah, I think I've spoken across like the most like the biggest points when it comes to clothes folding, in my opinion. If you have any extra questions, do feel free to ask me, because I don't... My mind is kind of blanking at the moment. I guess when it comes to like turtlenecks, for example, it's a lot of extra fabric. And so it will tend to perhaps fold a little bit over here. If you're looking downwards, there's a lot of fabric that falls onto itself, so extra folds over here. Sleeves when they pull because the character is keeping their hands in their pockets. Oh, you know what? You reminded me of another point I wanted to talk about. But yeah, let's talk about sleeves. Sleeves. So... Whoa. There you go. Get out. Thank you. So you're saying someone has their hands in their pockets, and I'm guessing they have like fairly loose sleeves. They're not super tight to the body. What happens then, right? Let's make it like jacket pockets, because the sleeves would be very long if they go all the way to the pants. Right? What happens here? So what happens here is that there's a lot of fabric that pulls onto itself. Let's review again what sleeves will look like, or what a jacket looks like. Long sleeves, right? So there's the square of the main body. And then there's this. Basic. I'm not gonna draw the other side, it's gonna go into the other person, but you get the gist of it. So what happens here is that this area is gonna go onto itself, right? It's gonna fold onto itself a lot. So lots of folds. Lots of folds over here when it comes to the inside of the sleeve. There's also this tension area over here, so kind of gonna... clothes are gonna try to want to point towards it, right? What happens here... well, you know what? There's two things that happen in this area. Sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes this becomes a point of tension. But it's also sometimes, or no, definitely every single time, this area starts gathering a lot of folds, a lot of extra cloth, right? Because it's all piling up on itself. So we're gonna draw little mountains, lots of mountains, and show that there's a lot of cloth just piling up on itself. Feel free to use my trick. Mountain, 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 and triangles all over the place. I say triangles, sometimes it's more like teardrops. But that's what tends to happen. To make your folds look extra nice, extra juicy, make sure to keep in mind that the arm is a 3D object and it will curve onto itself, right? So it's not just out, out, out. It's out curves going towards this main area where everything is folding onto itself. And because what tends to happen is that your hand slips into the pocket, but your sleeve, if it's fairly loose, it's gonna not attach itself to your wrist. It's gonna get stopped by the entrance of the pocket. So what tends to happen is that there's a lot of fabric that just gathers itself at the entrance. There's a lot of fabric. So that's what you do. You just draw a bunch of triangles around this area. Of course, do it mindfully. That's something I did not mention. Do it mindfully. Don't just do triangles everywhere. Triangle, 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 triangle. It has to make sense. So there's a triangle here. So think of the pattern, the way that the clothes are connecting with itself. So this is a light area. And who knows? Let's add a triangle here, right? So it's splitting off here. Don't add another triangle over here immediately, right? You might want to give it a little bit space so that there's extra space for the lightning to hit. Lightning? Lighting. Jesus. Now these two areas are kind of converging onto each other, so if I added an extra triangle here, it won't necessarily look all that good, but you know what it means. There's an extra space over here to add a triangle. Would leather fold that much? Leather? No, leather is fairly thick. So the thicker the material, the less folds that are gonna happen. The thinner the material, the more folds are gonna happen. That's how it tends to work. That's what happens, right? Folds happen. Let me change color real quick. There you go. Folds will tend to gather on the inside of the armpit, inside of the folding arm, so like the inner side of your elbow. And if it's in the pocket, it will tend to fold towards the wrist entirely because the fabric just has to pile up on itself. Let's see. Hi Lippy, how's it going? I'm practicing now with the commission I'm doing, and it's low-key helping a lot. Ah, that's great to hear. Whew, amazing, I'm helping. Woo! We're winning. We're winning. Now, okay, here's one of the most important things I can share with you guys. Especially when you're doing commissions. But no, you know what? It's very important for any type of drawing that you're doing clothes on. On a human. a living being that is moving. Always take into account the clothes that you're gonna put on the character before choosing the pose. That is primordial. Sometimes it's a very easy task. Sometimes it's not. And the reason why it's so important is because some clothes will look very weird and it's gonna ruin the pose. Let me think of like a pose. Let's say you have a pose where this person is like doing this with their legs. They're standing, right? Now, let's say they're wearing a very, very long skirt. Like a maxi skirt. Technically, there's gonna be a point of tension here. Maybe there's a little bit of wind flow over here. It's gonna look weird. You can try and bullshit it all you want. Like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, she's actually like, it's getting caught in the inside of her knee, so it's gonna look like this, and then this. But it's still hiding all the beautiful aspect that the back leg brings. What it's gonna look like in the end is this. A skirt with a weird fold in between, a foot coming out, and the foot down here. The energy of that pose gets lost through the clothes. So that's why it's really, really important to think about, or to take into account what clothes your character is gonna have before choosing the pose. Or the other way around, right? If you have a very cool pose and you want to draw clothes onto this character, make sure that the clothes that they're wearing is not going to ruin the pose. Is there anything that can happen with sleeves? There absolutely is. And if anything, I've stumbled upon this issue a lot with the EUSE design. Let me look real quick to old drawings that I did recently. Old drawings, recent. Words. Let's see. Old drawings, last month, exactly. Ooh, you know what? That's a really good example. How do I send that over there? Can I copy this and do that? No? Okay, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Oh, we're back. It's so beat up. So here's a pose that I had to change how I dress my character, because the pose in itself would not match the type of clothes that I was holding. So it's a little bit hard to see because like it's so colorful over here. This is the back leg, and then the sweater is like flying around, right? Usually when I draw Yusei, she's wearing the very puffy jacket. And honestly, this part would have been okay. This part would have been fine. It's this arm over here that would severely ruin the pose. Now, why would it ruin the pose, you may ask? Or maybe you know the answer already. Maybe some of you are visual learners and you already know what's happening here. What happens here is that if I had drawn the sleeve, it hides so much of the main drawing, of the main part, that it would just be very loud. The appeal of seeing, for example, these decorations fly off and the tattoos on the arm, everything would be lost to that big puffy sleeve. So we made the very tactical decision to have the sweater still be included, but in an area that it wouldn't be hiding all the beautiful details that this pose would be showcasing. An area that it wasn't, in my opinion, was an area of focus was the facial expression, right? Like it's very strong facial expression, the punch upwards. Let me why is that sleeve? Why is that sleeve still there? There you go. Shoe, skedaddle. The facial expression was very important in my opinion. But if I had added the glasses, the strength of the brows being... Okay, maybe I'm cheating a little bit with the thickness of this brush. Oh, that's thin. Right? Even if I had the brushes, you can see how much of the facial expression kind of disappears because of the line work. It becomes very loud, and all the details... It gives the viewer the unconscious message that you shouldn't care whatever's happening over here. It's saying, this is just crowded for the sake of being crowded. Don't pay attention to here. Pay attention to wherever other places is less crowded. So you gotta figure out like which areas you really need emphasis on. And personally speaking, if I could have avoided having all the tattoos here, like straight in the spot, I probably would have. But at the same time, as part of the character design, a tattoo is not something you can necessarily just disappear, erase out of nowhere. So that was an L I had to take. But when it comes to clothes, that's something that you do have control over and that you can change. So yeah. You can see a little bit, right? This area of tension with all the folds going inwards as well. Like the clothes are fairly tight, but it still is having this area, not an area of tension, sorry, it's an area where the clothes folds tend to pile up on itself, especially when the leg is folded a little bit. Same, it's a little bit harder to see here, but there's also this fold going on here. There's loose clothes over here, loose fabric, so there's a little bit of a curve happening here. Same thing here, loose fabric here, that will point towards the point of tension over here. Now, I have belts over here, which means that the clothes are not necessarily allowed that freedom to stretch as much as they want, so they tend to hold onto itself. And yeah, who was it who asked about leather? These shoes, let's assume they're made out of leather, right? Leather tends to fold easier when it's very used. And what happens with shoes most of the time, especially with heels, is that this area is gonna get loosened a lot. So this is an area that's more likely to get lots of folds. And now, the biggest tension you're gonna see otherwise is where the lace holes are, because that's where it's being literally pulled by the laces, right? So this area is going to be loose, this area is going to be tight, this area is going to be loose, this area is going to be tight. And it's going to get pulled over. And if your shoes are very worn out, you can say that like there's loose fabric that started creating itself in these areas because this area keeps getting pulled inwards. And there's a possibility. So if it's a little detail you want to add to your character design, you would say like this person has used their boots. Like this person is poor, never got to purchase extra boots. It's always the same boots since they were 5. That's a detail you can add. And there's so much more you can add to that, but hopefully the basis of it makes sense. That's very useful because I get clients with clothes that often hides or make the pose difficult and awkward. And in that case, you are absolutely free to discuss it with them. Like, hey, you requested this pose, but your clothes are getting in the way of it. May I suggest this different pose, or that we change the way that you approach your clothes? It's actually a situation that I ran into in one of my previous commissions. Let's see, do I have? Ooh, I'm not gonna show my entire file list. Let me switch real quick, see if I have the file on my iPad. If I do, I'll show it. If I don't, I won't. Or maybe I'll go through the extra efforts of. But I'll be right back. So I do have to go through the extra effort. It's okay. I'll do that effort for you guys. Ooh, wait. There's a newcomer. Hey, Vtuber. Hi, how's it going? I loved your art when you were showing it on the EN server. Also loving your thought process with worn boots right now. That sucks. Thank you. Welcome. Hope your day is coming along well. Thank you. It is. We're having a blast talking about foldings. I mean, that's sick. That sucks. No, you're good. You're good. Okay, let's check. Let's check Cloud Studio real quick. See if it's done downloading it or uploading it so I can download it again. Since 5? Yes, absolutely. Don't you think your boots would be worn out if you're a grown adult wearing the same boots since you were 5? Is there any areas that you guys feel like I haven't broached, or this like question that you feel I haven't quite answered? The background drawing looks so epic. It's not a drawing, it's a 3D model. I'm pretty sure. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I just purchased it. But based on how it looks, I would say I am 90% sure this is just an edited 3D model. But thank you. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you like it, rather. Let me think. So we talked about clothes foldings and... Let's see. Like, if you look at the way I drew the jacket over here, right? Like, can you find the areas of tension? Can you find where the clothes are holding onto each other? Does it make sense to you? I can point out one area where it doesn't make sense, but shh, it's okay. I think it's also important to use reference when one isn't sure how clothing works. I always forget that. Yes, that is true. Getting references is always an option. Get help. Oh, you know what? The drawing that I used for the thumbnail of this stream. Ooh, how do I pull that out? How do I pull out the schlong? Let's see. Give me a second. Let me cook. Let me cook. We want Clip Studio. We don't want this. And let's see how well it displays. Oh. Right, I did change that, didn't I? Can I do this? Ooh, I should not do that. Maybe I'll just inverse it. Flip horizontally is gonna be easier. I'm sorry, the text's gonna be upside down. Wrong side up. Left, right, up. Left, right, left. But with this purple jacket, right? I actually took a picture. I had a very puffy jacket like that pretty much looked like that. And I took the pose, I stroked the pose, put my phone on a timer, took that picture, and studied it. I sat down and was like, okay, how does these folds be folding? Something I did learn and I really like is this area of tension over here. See how there's very long folds happening here? Oh, I am fascinated by this. I really love it. And when you have very long jackets, I am talking about like past your knees jackets, right? Or no, sorry, not even. Even loose hoodies, if you're just like standing straight, they tend to like have this very long fold happening in the, like around like nipple area, I guess, like vertically speaking. Or like hip lengths is better. Nipple area is like, I'm too down bad. But yeah, ooh, I should have used these examples, honestly. You see the tension area here and how the clothes just fold towards it. How... it, like, the clothes piles up over here. The right sleeve fold is a bit confusing. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. Band. Sorry. To jail. To the jail. Get out. No, don't question me like that. Let's see. Let me organize myself a bit better. Sorry, I was not expecting to use my tablet today. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? I don't know where my pen is. Is it somewhere in here? I have no idea where my pen is. Oh, found it! Found it! Found it! Woo! Okay. So some of y'all have issues with that sleeve. Oh, from your own model. Okay, never mind. What details with the clothes? They really turned out very well drawn. Thank you. I never got the drawing out. It was supposed to be reactive in my stream. Let me see. Can I pull him out? Essentially, it was one of my OCs, and whenever someone would come and stream for the first time, like newcomers, it would wave like, "Hey, hi, how's it going?" Or it would be like more like followers and subscribers. Studio files completed. There you go. Here's the original drawing. Okay, how's it going? Hi, Vivs, how's it going? Wow. Oh yeah, let's go back with this one. But I did see some very nice, interesting spots over here. Go red. You know what? Never mind. Go blue. Yeah. No, you know what? Never mind. Just stay the way you are. You're perfect. I like a Picasso. The black and white style. The black and... The black and white style? What are we talking about? Wait, I'm confused. Oh yeah. Continuing while we await an answer. You can see like there's a little bit of tension going on here, like it's getting pulled this way. And over here there's a lot of loose fabric. A lot of loose fabric that just piles up on itself. And even though this is usually an area of tension, because the clothes are very, very loose, the tension is also gonna kind of... it's not gonna be straight. It's not gonna be straight line. It kind of like... How do you say that? It softens the curve a little bit. Hi, this time I am truly black. Back. Oh my god, sorry, the black and white subject like fucked with my head. Welcome back. So yeah. I do want to keep the subject a little bit closer to the clothes folding for now. Before we close things up, I don't want to go too much on a tangent. With that said, last call for questions concerning the clothes folding before we move on. Last call. It's the last call. Ugh. I'm also trying to think if there's anything that was left unspoken. Just a heads up, not whoever. You can ask me all the questions you want when it comes to line work and drawing. When it comes to shading, don't ask me yet. I have no idea. If anything, I just recently purchased a book on how to shade. I have no idea how to use colors. So that's an area that's gonna have to wait. But when it comes to line work, having questions that have to do with lines and foldings and clothes, be my guest. Do you have any time-lapse rendering coloring detailed like that in dark jacket? Huh? Dark jacket? Was there a time-lapse? No, there was no time-lapse. No, but, hear me out. Hear me out. I remember specifically trying to do grisaille with this one. Where is it? There's a lot of the hair that's like just not there right now. Holy shit. Hey, let's try to break this down real quick. Give me a second. Oh. Oh. Let's close this. Let's remove the mask here. So, yeah, I did this through this type of shading. So it was like black and white. And then I added colors onto it. Onto the shading. Definitely will not be repeating this type of art process. I like it. I like using grayscales to start shading. It's definitely a method I've been trying to develop as of late. And I say as of late, like this drawing, I think I did it like 2-3 years ago. No, even more than that, like 4 or 5 years. It's a method I've for a long time have been curious about. I never quite had the chance to really delve into it though. And something that I did back then that I would probably do differently. Oh, you know what? I actually did start working on it a little bit. Give me a second, I need to send it from the iPad to the computer. Send. Yes. Like I said, I recently purchased, cause whoa, let's story time. Woo! Story time. I went on a trip not too long ago, like a week ago or something. And on that trip, we were looking through, not libraries. Libraries? No. Bookshops. And I found this book that really caught my eye, and it's a book class on how to do grisaille, this type of grayscale shading. I took it immediately. I was like, I need it. I need to learn. I need to like sit down and understand. And it really confirmed that the way that I went about this drawing is definitely not sustainable for me. And in this case, like what I did was everything was the same type of gray, and I just added, I essentially treated this like a statue, right? Like it's the same base color. What I want to try doing from here on out is to have the drawing in grayscale first and then go from there. What? Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to close that, was I? Oh, you're sending? Oh, you're sending? You're trying to send? Ooh, that's heavy. Sorry, I'm trying to find like a proper example to show. It's gonna be way easier for you guys to understand. Download it. Faster. Faster. Faster! Let's look at the chat real quick. Haha. What about from the back? What clothes look like from the back? Ooh. From the back. Hey, over here trying to get back shots? Like what? Just kidding. Man, from the back. It really depends on the type of fabric. But let's look into that right after I show this. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. You're gonna see the wrong thing first. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. This is a drawing that I'm gonna use for my next stream schedule. It looks really nice. It looks very picturesque, if I may say so myself. Little did you know, this drawing is actually... It is actually grayscale. So that's what I mean by like making the drawing in grayscale versus kind of shading it as if it was a statue. You know what I mean now? Right? So this is a technique I've been looking into a little bit more. Still haven't had the proper chance to really apply myself to it. Well, hopefully I will get the occasion to. But I've definitely been looking into this method and using tone curves as well to really enhance, add different type of hues to the shading and whatnot, add effects and blah blah blah. Even the background is grayscaled. I don't think you guys got the chance to see that. Where's the background? Everything in this is grayscaled. I just got creative in adding colors. So what the book taught me and really pointed out to me that I don't think I would have noticed by myself, when you do this type of grayscale where you have base colors that reflect the values, is that the right word? Like the tones of the drawing? Where's my... Sorry, I'm trying to take this out. Right. For example, the skin color is lighter, the hair is darker, the clothes will match the darkness of its original color. That's what I mean by values. So when you want to try doing grisaille with this type of approach, you need to use the color layer effect. But when you're using this type of approach, where everything is the same values of grays all across the border, then you want to use overlay to add your colors in. Which is perhaps not what I did over here. It mayhaps not be what happened here. But it worked in the end. It looks good in the end. I wish I could show you the images that the book shows as a comparison, but they also kind of pointed out, and let's give some benefit of the doubt here. The artist did say that they prefer, they're like more proficient in this method, the one I'm showing over here, than they are in using gray and overlay. So maybe they're just like bad at it, who knows. But from what they showed, your colors will look a lot more like desaturated when you're using the overlay version than if you were using the color layer version. And that's why I'm heading towards the grayscale and color layers. The book is in Japanese. It has lots of images though. So if you're interested, let me know. And I will put the title. I will try to find a link to it and drop it in the chat. But now, Someone asked, Kay asked about the back. How does the back look like with cloth foldings? Oh no, all the naughty poses. Oh look. Where's Seti? Ah, there's Seti. Ah yeah, that's my boy Seti over there. Whoa, Seti. Seti. Okay, turn around. Give me a full 360 over here. Hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate. I probably needed it. You know what? Let me be a good artist and look up Pinterest, because hindsight, second thought, I don't think I'm all that confident drawing just like neutral backs. Let's do a quick study together. Let's learn. We all in this together. Ooh, you know what? That's a really good example right here. That or we're down bad. What do y'all say? What's the answer? Or is the answer truly, I'm just lazy? Okay. Let's... Ooh, that's the wrong pen for this. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Move my mic over here like that. Perfect. Oops. So... Whoa. That's not supposed to happen. There you go. Who died in the back? I have no idea. Okay, so this person is turning around, right? So all the tension is going to this shoulder. That is boosting the movement of the body. And what happens, the clothes will start folding towards this area. Oh, interesting over here. That it kind of like folds onto itself. But that's probably what happens because of the stitches happening here, and there's a lot of extra fabric that's piling up on itself. So it's fabric piling up on itself plus being pulled. But listen, remember when I said that the nipples are like a point of tension on the chest? And clothes will tend to fold towards the nipple. Shoulder blades are a point, perhaps a little bit of a lesser point, but still, sometimes them shoulder blades be kind of emphasizing the crevice of the back. So, it will tend to perhaps pile up a little bit more towards your spine. And show a little bit of tension on your shoulder blades. You follow her? Who's her? That's a her? You know what? I can see it. That's a her is super rude. Whoa. Wait, it just clicked. They're a her? My bad. My bad. Anyways, here. Well, it's more emphasized because this person is leaning their neck forward, so there's more tension happening at this little part of the spine. And it's gonna be showing tensions over here. It's a little bit less obvious, but there's still a little bit of folding happening over the armpit level over here. Let's keep note of that. Gotta fix that posture though. Listen, it's a good example, okay? We're gonna take it. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, especially when the chest is pointing forward the way that it is, the back will tend to have the clothes pulled towards the front. So that's why you see that the clothes are not super loose. They're getting pulled towards the front over here. Okay, we're talking about noses now. Y'all are down bad. We're paying attention to the folds here. Sheesh. Sheesh. Okay, height clothes. Ooh, we didn't talk about this earlier. It happens, the same phenomenon happens with the boobs. So when the clothes are tight and there's a point of tension, there's 2 points of tension, what happens between them is lines. Horizontal lines, in this case. Stop looking up at the body! Y'all down bad! Chill! So yes. When there's two very, prominent points of tension like that, the clothes can have, lines. But as they fall downwards, they will tend to have, larger triangles. And then it's choose your what's it called? Choose your poison at this point, left or right. It could also have gone this way, but in this case it's going this way, and it's falling onto each other. And because it's tight again here, right? You saw that? It's tight over here. There's 2 points of tension, 2 points of tension right here. There's gonna be horizontal lines. Wow! So that's how backs work. It's still... There's still the tension being pulled from both sides. But I guess it's looser on on the sides of the body at the end. Twitch chat down bad for real, for real, for real. Jesus. I went to dinner, no worries. I arrived again. By the way, so nice. Your drawing sketch, Davin. That's not a sketch, that's not me, that's not... That is in no way anything that I own. Happy to hear your tips, thank you. Of course, of course. What have we learned today, kids? You gotta identify the points of tension. Keep in mind the stitching. Draw triangles. Is there anything else? Check out this webtoon, Let the Saints Be Selfish, which I was in charge of the illustrations for. https://www.pocketcomics.com/comic/9168 コミコにて連載されてる聖女リリアはわがままに生きたいの線が担当させていただきました。よかったら読んで楽しんでらっしゃい。https:// Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. I'm getting bored. Buttons counts as points of tensions, right? Yes, they absolutely do, particularly when they are buttoned. When the buttons are unbuttoned, not so much. They don't really count that big as a point of tension. But if they're being held, if they're being buttoned, then absolutely they will show that little point of tension. Let's go look. Let's go look for a button shirt. How down bad y'all wanna be? We're gonna be down bad, we're gonna be down bad. So we can see here, there's tension over here. That's the point of tension that the button does. This is potentially the tightest spot in the body, the chest level. These areas are very loose At least for this man. Because he has a tiny waist. And all these clothes are just floating around, so they don't really need to be pulled or anything. Ooh, wait, we have a tighter one. We have a tighter one. We have a tighter one. There you go. You see it a lot better here. We have here, this dude got waist, so there is a point of tension over here happening as well. Ooh. Do you see the amount of tension happening here? Like being pulled from all directions. Holy shit. And that's a tight chest. That's absolutely a very tight chest. But keep in mind, again, areas that are loose, the tension will not be applied. Not as much. You see that nipple over here? Area of tension. Everything points to it. Area of tension over here, everything points to it. Tension over here, everything points to it. Area of tension over here. No, just kidding. Let's see. Collarbone. Hey, get out of here. You're done. You're too much. Too thirsty. Go get a drink. Can someone get a hydrate for everyone? We need it. We need it. I'm too thirsty. I'm drawing a shirt like that. It's so troublesome. Oh, if you look at the sleeves over here, because the sleeves are rolled back and whatnot, there's a lot of extra fabric happening over here. So sure, it follows the rule of like the point of tension at first, but once the tension is gone, it's just piling up. Triangle after triangle after triangle. Ooh, that's a light. You want to be fancy? Add a little jiggly little stuff over here like that. Triangle over here, triangle over there, triangle over here, there, here, there, here, there, here. Go ham. Just know that if you do it too much though, as realistic as it is, it's gonna start looking weird if you're not careful about it. So my suggestion is try to do it tastefully. Try to do it to a point where you're like, this looks good. If you think it looks bad, or if you think it looks weird, even though it's realistic, it's following what it should be, stop yourself. Follow your instinct. Instinct. If something tells you that it's not gonna look good, chances are it's not looking good. It's realistic, sure. Sometimes reality don't look that good. Oh no, that was all in the same layer. One second, let me Ctrl-Z into oblivion. Woo! If you were to illustrate a character that looks like this, where the clothes are shaded in this fashion, realistically, chances are I would look at it and I will say the sleeves are very loud. The sleeves have way too much detail and it takes away from where you're actually supposed to be looking at. You get a cookie for drawing, for illustrating it realistically, but sometimes at the end of the day, being realistic is not what your goal is. Like being aesthetically pleasing might be your goal. Especially if you're drawing anime. Anime is perhaps one of the furthest things from realistic art. Art nonetheless. But listen, my nose is a dot. If I were to draw my Vtuber model's nose and make it realistic, and I mean realistic, chances are it might look odd. It might look odd to some of you. But this is what I mean, that if it looks like it's too much, it's overdone, it's overcooked, and it bothers you, dial it back. Like, it's great that you're able to do it super realistically, but if it's not what your drawing needs, then listen to that. yeah. Noticed it being a dot. You can't unsee it now. You'll forever see me with a dot nose. 好像しない。好像しない。好像しない。好像しない。好像しない。Ooh. Ooh. Butt cheeks. 好像しない。I like this one. I like this one a lot. I think I'm gonna post it on Twitter. I think I'm gonna do it. I might just do it. But yeah, I think we've come around. We got a little bit sidetracked left and right, but I think we pretty much covered the basics of clothes folding in line work. I would love to stream more, but I did say this stream is specifically a lesson in art, drawing clothes folding, and I would prefer to keep it like short and concise. I don't really want to go into other subjects all that much. We kind of got sidetracked with the Grisai thing, but otherwise, for whoever wants to watch the VODs afterwards, make it very short, concise, you know. 2 hours, holy shit. Oh, we're dying. So, let's leave it here. We're gonna leave it here, and we're gonna... I forgot how to do it. We do this. We do this. Then we do that. And then we do this. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the stream deck. The girl with green hair. The girl! That's a boy! That's a boy! Oh, wait, you mean... Wait. Wait, wait. Oh, shit, you mean Davin. You mean... Oh, okay, I don't have her. 1 second. You mean her. You mean me. Hi, that's me. I'm Davin. I should be streaming with this model on this account. This is the proper owner of this account. I just prefer the USA model. It's more updated. I have been working on updating the Davin model as well, but I'm just running out a little bit of time. Don't really find the time to advance it. How many of you guys have seen the new model? Or the work in progress of the new model? I really like the color palette you use in the drawing. Ah, thank you. It's grayscale. I think they meant you. Yeah, I realized afterwards. My bad. Hi, Daisuke. How's it going? It's been such a while. Hope you've been well. Let's show the new model real quick. Work in progress. So you see me using the old version, right? This is what we're looking at. The change, the glow up. I'm not fully convinced with the eyes yet. I'm not fully convinced. We might rework it a little bit, but yeah, that's what we're showing so far. And a little bit of a change in the color palette. Dabin usually was a little bit more blue with the clothes. It's essentially the same line art and whatnot. I just changed the face. That's all. Face and shading. I catched one stream of it. I didn't realize it was you. And after the 2 months I was gone, the new model was here. Yeah. Yeah, so this is me. This is Dabin. I just like to use the USA model. Okay, listen, the USA model just looks fresher. This looks a lot fresher. It's a lot more smoother. The V-bridger is properly rigged and whatnot. Plus, if I'm gonna complete a model first, it's probably gonna be this one. So also, a proper reason for me to use the USA model more than I use the proper model is, that's not the right effect. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Is I need to advertise my services. I need to get commission. I need to get buck. I'm sorry, I need money. And I can't just be using this like, oh yeah, this is my skill, a half illustrated model and a half baked rig. Oh yeah. Oh, the music did stop, didn't it? By the way, is the background made by you? No, it's not. It's a background I purchased on Booth. Actually, let's see. Wow. These backgrounds and also the stream schedule was all provided by Menghua. I believe I have them linked on Twitch. Do I? Ooh, sorry. Twitch. Keyword. Work with me. Twitch. Let's see. Let's go check that. Get me out of here. Mute that. Okay. Yes, so it's on Twitch, it's one of the panels below called credits. I credit the emotes and the overlay. So background overlay and whatnot is by Menghua. Menghua also provided the stream schedule as well. So they sell their stuff on Booth. I don't know about Etsy. I'm not sure about Etsy, but still though, the work is really, really good and also very affordable. Very high quality, very pretty, very aesthetic. So recommended, honestly. About this, Devin, can we ask about your old styles someday? What do you mean by that? What do you mean asking about old styles? Money do be important. Yes, it is. Money do be important indeed. And I need to be saving a lot of money real quick for plans that are coming by the end of the year. Not necessarily plans that you guys will be seeing. Like, it's not like a project, like a content creation project. It's just like life steps being made. And the deadline is coming real quick. So trying to save up as much money as possible for that. What about the style of acceleration? Not only that, but I didn't fully do the art for Ginkaku acceleration. I believe the illustrator... Well, I was the main line work artist, and somebody else did the shading for it. And that's for the second round. The first round and third round were illustrated by Kagino Rei. Oh my god, that was a while ago. That was like almost a decade ago. Wait, actually? Good luck with that, thank you. We're trying. Let's see. Session acceleration. Chidu was not me. Chidu was Kagino's art. I took care of part of the animation though. I worked on the animation and that. I died a little bit inside. Yeah. It's probably credited. Art. So line work for peace sign was me. Sketch and line work was me. Miho did this the shading. and Kagi no Rui, it was just their art from the previous round that was featured in there. Chiru Chiru, art was entirely by Kagi no Rui. Kagi no Rui? No, Kagi no Roi. Sorry. Roi. I keep getting that wrong. It's all properly credited in the description of those videos. So if you are interested in getting their, like, following their social media account, it should all be there. With Davins. Oh, that's cute. Okay, sorry, I kind of got a little bit distracted. I am... What is this show? I'm tired? I'm gonna be a little bit tired. I gotta work in commissions afterwards too. Would have streamed the commission work, but I just need a break between then and now. But with that said, by the end of today, I will have the updated stream schedule. We're gonna be streaming on Monday and Friday, maybe? No, wait. Fuck it, Wednesday and Friday. I know Borna said Wednesday was good for them, so we're gonna do Wednesday and Friday. Monday, not assured. Not assured. And fun fact. No, wait, it's not a fact yet. I'm setting myself up to stream as Yusei starting this week or next week. So if you want to have some non-artistic, non-behind-the-scenes type of content, stream and whatnot, give Yusei a little follow. Might stream over there. The content for Yusei might involve some, perhaps. I need to double check with Yormik, but we might continue playing Split Fiction, and those stream would be on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, if I get things lined up properly, I'm gonna try to do my first ASMR stream over there. Actually, fun fact, I'm just gonna yap just a little bit more. Just forgive me. I need to share this news. I'm excited. So I have created this amalgamation, this DIY of an ASMR mic. And for all means and purposes, it should be really good quality audio. But I did not have the proper interface, and the interface was severely limiting the quality of my mics. Not that bad. You know what? I'll link it. Heck, I will link it. I posted a little work in progress. And you can get a feel of what it sounds like with this current setup. I'll post it both on YouTube and Twitch. Let's see. YouTube, here, have it. Check it out. Twitch, here, have it. Check it out. So this is what the mics sound like at the moment. But my friend talked me into getting not only a new interface, but like just straight up a new mixer altogether, which should enhance the quality of the audio. Perhaps just a little, but for me, significantly so. I want to pride myself into realistic sounds with a mic set that I did by myself that costs probably half of what it should. So I'm excited. I really want to try it out and just whisper in your ears for the next 3 hours. But yeah, those are the plans. They might change, they might not. Davin stream schedule, even though it's up on Twitch right now, don't trust it. I made a mistake, so I will repost it later by tonight. If you're on the server, you're gonna see me post properly new dates over there. But I can assure you the rest of the week is going to be art streams for commissions. So, yeah. Wow. So much yap. So much yap. Wow, that was a lot of yapping. So, with that said, thank you so much for hearing me out. I hope you guys learned a little bit more. I managed to share some of my knowledge about clothes folding. use reference. Don't just use my words as gospel. I might be wrong. Chances are I'm pretty wrong. If you like how I fold my clothes, joke's on you, I put them in a hanger. If you like the way I draw folds, then be my guest. Honestly, follow the D's and biases. Ooh, my phone battery's going low. I got a Discord. Yes, I do got a Discord. I got an art Discord. Ooh. Axex? Is that how I'm supposed to pronounce your name? Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Sorry you're hitting us at the end of the stream, but listen, I'll be streaming pretty often this week. So hopefully we catch each other then. Let's see. Did the bot message about the Discord server come out yet? Oh, you know what? If you look at the description of this stream on YouTube, because you're on YouTube, right? If you look at the description below, there should be at the bottom like a link to my Discord server. I'll catch the next one then. Gotcha. Thank you though for joining the group, joining the village. I forgot where I was. Where was I? Where was I? Let me think. Let me use my brain. My big brain cells. Yes, this week's streams are gonna be art streams for commissions. And then the week afterwards, we're gonna get back into rigging hardcore. Because, Jesus, my chair. Because we're rapidly approaching the deadline for that commission, so we're gonna get that done properly. Just a quick reminder though, if there's any people, any nice peeps, nice gents and gentlemen, gentlewomen who are interested in getting an art commission for the next 3 days still? 4 days. I've been doing, for the entire month of April, I've been doing some discounts in my commissions, very significant discounts, I think like up to 75% off. So if you're interested in getting art at a more affordable price, it's still going on. It's going on until the end of April, so don't miss it. With that said, I'll see you next stream. Wait till tonight for the proper stream schedule. Hope you learned, and if you didn't, good, you learned to not listen to me either. I'll see y'all later. Papayas. Papayas for everyone.